who challenged the king. In the heart of Osun State, wrapped in the rhythm of bata drums and rustling iroko trees, lay the ancient town of Ilobu. Known for its carved gates, wise elders, and sacred rivers, the people lived under the heavy rule of Oba Adeyemi, the self-proclaimed Lion of all Crowns. Though he wore a beaded crown and walked with royal thunder, Oba Adeyemi had a heart carved from stone. His word was law, his greed legendary. He taxed the yam sellers twice in a day, he seized palm groves from widows, and when the village council whispered disapproval, he simply laughed. "A goat has no business questioning the man who eats pepper soup," the king would often say. Little did he know, a goat would do more than question him. One hot afternoon, under the shouting sun and the smell of fried akara, the village market was thrown into chaos, not by thieves or wild dogs, but by a goat. It was no ordinary goat. Its fur was white as salt, its horns curved like river paths, and it walked calmly, too calmly for an animal. When a woman tried to push it away from her tomatoes, the goat turned and spoke. "Is this how you treat guests in Ilobu?" it said in deep, clear Yoruba. Gasps cut through the air. Children ran, baskets fell, the town crier fainted, and just like that, the talking goat became a matter for the king. By evening, the goat stood before Oba Adeyemi in the palace courtyard, chained but proud. The king leaned forward, face twitching with insult. "What manner of sorcery is this?" The goat bowed slightly and replied, "Not sorcery, Kabiyesi, only truth, and truth has come to your doorstep." The court gasped again. The goat continued, "You call yourself the Lion of all Crowns, but a true king protects, he does not plunder. You wear beads of the ancestors, yet break the laws they died to protect. Today, I am only a goat. Tomorrow, I will be your conscience." Oba Adeyemi rose, voice trembling with fury. "You dare insult me? Tie this beast to the sacred tree. At dawn, we shall burn it." But as the guards moved to drag the goat away, it whispered, softly enough only the king could hear, "Burn me, and your crown will burn with me." End of part 1. Tease for part 2. What is the secret behind the goat's voice? Will Oba Adeyemi burn it or fear it? The goat who challenged the king. Part 2. Night descended over Ilobu, and with it came silence heavier than iron. The sacred tree outside the palace, once a place of offerings and ancestral chants, now held something different. The goat was tied beneath it, still calm. Villagers gathered at a distance, some watching, others praying silently. Oba Adeyemi paced in his chambers, unable to sleep. Every shadow seemed to whisper. The goat's final words, "Burn me, and your crown will burn with me," clung to him like cobwebs. He called for his chief priest. "Oba Adeyemi, Baba Usa, what manner of beast is this?" Baba Usa, softly, "Kabiyesi, not every goat that speaks was born of a womb. Some carry voices from beyond." The king grew pale. He dismissed the priest and ordered stronger guards around the tree. But by dawn, something happened. As the first cock crowed, the guards shouted, "The goat was gone." The rope remained uncut. No footsteps, no dragged chain. only ash, a small pile of white ash beneath the tree. At first, the king rejoiced. "The beast is dead! The ancestors have answered!" But then came a knock. A messenger entered the palace, trembling. "Kabiesi, something has happened at the shrine." The king rushed to the royal grove. There, in place of the ancestral totems, stood a single white goat skull resting on his father's sacred stool. Oba Adeyemi fell to his knees. "Who dares desecrate the throne of my fathers?" Then the wind stirred, and from it a whisper. "The throne that forgets the people will be forgotten by the spirits." Within a moon's cycle, the king changed. He cancelled the double taxes, returned seized land to widows, opened the palace gates to the elders he once silenced. But the villagers no longer bowed in fear. They watched him with wary eyes, remembering the goat that defied him. Eventually, Oba Adeyemi stepped down. Not from sickness, but shame. He handed his crown to his son, a gentler man, and retired quietly into a modest compound. Some say he spent his last days feeding goats. Others say he would speak to them, as if waiting for one to reply. Moral lesson: let this tale of Ilobu be carved into the drums of our children. For power without humility invites shame, and truth, no matter how small or how strange, cannot be silenced. A king is not great because he wears a crown, but because he bows to justice, even if it comes from the mouth of a goat.
Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe and share our tales to keep African wisdom alive. New stories drop every week, only on OmoLosi TV.
Until next time, listen to the wind. It still whispers truth.